Hi everyone, welcome back to Create Every Day in August. Today is August 21st, 2020. Are you excited that it's Friday? I am so excited it's Friday. I have this book that I checked out from the library. It's called 175 Fresh Card Ideas. This book has a copyright date of 2010, so I don't know how fresh the ideas are, but you can still use them. I don't think card making styles go out of style, right? We're going to be using this now. I want to say that this is a slimline card. It's not called a slimline card in the book, but I want to make it. And so in the back it has some sketches which are really cool. I like to see sketches and then I like to see like a finished product. Like for example, this has two squares and four rectangles. Page 41 right here, it shows you the finished sketch, right? So I think that's really cool. We're going to be trying this card out, but it has no dimensions or anything like that. So Brandy has made up her own stuff. I took a craft and cut it down and made it to go 4 by 9 inches. So it's 9 by 4 or 4 by 9. I cut this down. It was already a scrap. I just cut it down to fit on top, so it don't have a real measurement to it. I inked up this with some Mermaid Lagoon, and the bottom is tea dye. And then I've been stamping out these images just to decrease in long time. Everything you see me using I purchased, with the exception of these cute little stamps I got in some friend mail, happy mail, birthday mail from Wonder and Dreamer 555. If I sound like I'm a little bit off today, she is having back spasm galore right now. So please just bear with me for a little while if I just sound real awkward or weird. So I didn't pull out all of my nautical stamps. That would be weird. I pulled out a few that actually have dies to cut out with them. So hopefully all the dies will cut out, to cut it out. Hopefully. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp a few more things out. And then some things will just be stamped on a card like this. This is a pink ink design. And these are photopolymer, but they usually stamp out pretty decently. So we will see if I have to start complaining about photopolymer today. Hopefully she will not complain. And I have been so tempted to ink up things in specific colors, but I realize that sometimes it doesn't look good. It doesn't translate how I have it in my mind to translate. So I'm just going to use black ink. And then what I will do is if I feel like I need to color something up, I'll go back in and color it up. And I was watching Crafter's Companion yesterday. No, she did not buy anything, if that's what you're wondering. I do want to say something really quick. If you have a scan and cut or you're thinking about getting a scan and cut, I am not here to promote the scan and cut. I'm just going to tell you why I think it would be very cool to have. Besides running these things, I'm using my Gemini Mini, and as you know, I have double stamped this, so I would have to put the die on each one, tape it down, and run through. If you stamp an entire sheet of paper, you put it on your scan and cut, and you can cut out all the images in a few minutes, right? For now, this is more convenient for me to do because I'm at my desk and I still haven't had a scan and cut day. I think I'm going to do it today just because I really need to work on my 6x6 paper pad collaboration. And I did not upload my man-on-man card for tomorrow. So I have to edit that out, and it's on the computer. I thought I edited it, but when I went to look at all the scheduled things, I only have one schedule. So I have to work on a lot of stuff today. And so yeah, I did get the ice cream, not the one that he was talking about, the big roommate, and it wasn't the greatest because it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I don't know. I think what I may have to do is just get some brownies and make them, and get some hot fudge and some ice cream and do it like that versus relying on somebody else to make it for me, just so I can have it in a little room. It can be like, oh, my mommy makes blah, 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 blah. Because that's what he's good at. He's good at telling everyone what I do, good and or bad, which little kids tend to be that kind of way, right? Oh, I don't like this stamp. We'll see if it stamps out. It's a little bit off, I think, but we'll see. I think sometimes when you're mass producing things and quality control is not there to so you see, it's all on this side and it's nothing on that side, which is weird. Anyway, we'll just keep it moving. I know a lot of people use their stuff right away, and you know, I've told you before, I'm not one of those a lot of people. But when I get to it, I wear the heck out of it. And I think even though we're getting into fall, which I love fall, so you'll see some fall projects from me as well. I think what I'm going to try to do, and if you're if you're interested in doing it with me, just let me know. I think I'm going to do summer year round, starting in October, and each month will have a theme. And so I haven't figured that out yet, especially since I'm talking about going to school and all the other stuff. But I think that's what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just color this little guy up all gray. I'm going to make him two-tone, so the under will be light gray. And the top will be a little bit darker gray. Seems like I've been coloring a lot this week, huh? I'm okay with that. Hopefully you all are too. I always think about when I'm doing Krita, am I doing this for you or myself? And the ultimate answer is both. I do it for myself because I like to create. I love coloring, even though I'm not like, a colorist. I don't blend, I don't make shadows and things like that. And I have to be completely and totally honest with you. I haven't like dedicated as much time as I would like to be able to do that. If you're interested, this is some Spectrum Noir's IG1. It's from the gray palette, I think. The gray era. What is it called? Cool Grays. One of them look almost black though. So that would definitely have to be if you're doing some steel or something like that. And another reason I think about when I say both, so for me, I enjoy doing it, but for you all, I just like to feel like I'm inspiring you or motivating you to, you know, color, cut up paper. Sometimes all you need is someone to say you could do it, right? I was in a live stream and someone was like, I can't craft. I'm like, everyone can create stuff, even if it's junk. The more you create, the better you'll get. So I feel like we can't say, oh, I'm not good at this or I suck at this, because you really don't suck at it as long as you're trying. Everyone's art will not be a masterpiece, right? Not at the very beginning, unless you just like have that natural talent. I know some people that are naturally musical, naturally artists, naturally, all that stuff. And then there are people, the rest of us basically, the ones that are not natural, that, it takes a while, it takes some time to do it. And I think that it's okay. I'm gonna make this bottle blue. And I chose these markers specifically because I feel like some of the Spectrum Noir markers do not run. I feel like they do not make the ink run as much as some of the other alcohol markers, like the Copic ones. They, in my opinion, in my humble little crafty opinion, I feel like they bleed. So I'm not sure if the alcohol is less in these or more in the other. I don't know how that setup is in the Dollar Tree. The Dollar Tree. I wish the Dollar Tree sold alcohol markers, right? It would be a riot. People would be, woo. That would be a mess at the Dollar Tree. Those people would be like, what is wrong with these crafters? Why do they keep coming in here? But Ross, I got the other markers from Ross. So those alcohol markers don't tend to run as much, and maybe the ink is dried enough for that. I think I want to try orange with this one, but which orange? All right, so on these, I just colored them in yellow and pink and a little bit of orange. And this one I'm using the sand, which is my favorite, and it's drying out, which makes me sad because that's like my number one go-to skin tone. Um, so I did this with sand, and I think, am I gonna use blue? I need a light blue, and unfortunately, I feel like the baby blue is like regular dark blue in that setup, and I don't have any blues in the Spectrum Noir, the one that I have right here. So I'm going to use this aqua mint, hopefully. And if it doesn't work out the way I am envisioning it, because, undersea, we don't really know how beautiful the ocean floor is, and we just don't know, right? We only know what the scientists have told us, and that isn't a whole bunch because they haven't really explored the depths of the sea. As much as I'm quite sure they would like to do it, they haven't. So I want to tell y'all a story. I have proud mommy moments, right? So a few days ago, well, last week when school first started, I promise you, once I get the school bug out, we won't discuss school that much. I think I'm always going to discuss it because once I start going to school, I'm going to be crying a lot. But it won't be Crata, We won't be creating every day, so you don't have to worry about it as much. I'm going to color this right quick. Let me come back with this sand. And hopefully it does a little bit better. All right. I do find that if I try, quote unquote, try to do some blending, the harsher, these are like hard. Like you see the tips are like hard. Whereas the Spectrum Noir and the other more expensive alcohol markers, the tips are softer. And I feel like those are easier to blend. Kind of like a paintbrush with a nib. But I am not, I'm not an artist when it comes to things like that. So I can't really say for 100% sure that that's a true statement. I just feel like it. Okay. So we're going to come in right at the bottom and right here. So anyway, last week some of the students, not all the students, got a chance to introduce themselves, say who you are, maybe what your favorite toy is, and what you want to do when you grow up. So was it last week or this week? I think it was last week they found out that, no, we had to do that in homework, right? What toy you liked or whatever. So this week, no, yeah, with what you like. So this week, it was my baby's turn. And he's 4. He's not 14. He's not 12. He doesn't understand life yet. So, sometimes when he says things, I'm just like shocked. I'm like, oh, that's so cute. So, he was like, hi, my name is, I like Thomas, and I want to be a train conductor. Train conductor? Engineer. I want to be a train engineer, and I want to make my own Thomas. I was like, be still my heart. My little guy knows what working is. I was just so like happy. I probably shouldn't have been that dang happy, but I was like, oh, that's so cute. Like, I never prompt him to tell people like what he wants to do, or anything like that. If he has on like a Thomas shirt or something, I'll be like, yeah, he's a humongous fan of Thomas. But sometimes he's like, yes, I'm a big fan of Thomas. I'm like, oh, my wallet is not a big fan of Thomas. I'll tell you that right now. But overall, I think we'll be fine. The sad part about things is, I feel like the fall is a family time. It's like when you start to get together with your family, people take vacations and they travel to see you. Well, with everything going on, you know, like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, it's going to be a lot. I think it's going to be a lot more important for us as a whole, not just me and my family, but as a whole, if you celebrate those things. I know some people don't celebrate anything, um, which is, you know, okay. I'm going to go ahead and color up this little octopus and come back. All right, so this is Distress ink and I have water. I'm going to squirt it and plop up some water real quick. Hopefully, I don't know what I did with my mister. So hopefully I don't squirt too much. So this is not a above C and a below C. This is all below C. So, but we won't have any like water bubbles, okay? It's just going to be like that. Not a lot because I'm not confident in that technique. So while this is drying, did I get all the water up? No. While this is drying, I want to complain. Not really complain. You know, since everything's been going on, paper towels, toilet paper have been kind of scarce, alcohol, all that stuff for cleaning. But I do not like tearing your own paper towel. I like a normal size paper towel. So my craft towel paper towels are the same size. So I'm like, okay, you need to be careful because you don't want to ruin any. So I cut out some stuff. And how I envisioned it, I laid it all out, and it came out. It looks okay so far. Now I'm just going to add some of this jelly pen silver, I guess it is. It's called XPGB number 700. I love this one a lot, and we have plenty to use so far. I don't use it all the time, even though I say I love it. I need to just go ahead and pull out a Wink of Stella, huh? But I don't know if I am a shimmery person like that. I like it on cards. I like to see people create them, but I don't know if I ever remember enough to get it. I want to say that the Crafter's Companion dies leave no border if you do it properly. If you see any white on there, it's operator error. Like this one is all clean. I've taped it down properly. And the other ones, yeah, she missed the mark a little bit. And I am not really being too careful about how I'm doing this. Did I only run one of these through? I thought I did both of them. Okay, we'll see. I love listening to the seashells. Now, I will listen to a seashell on land. Just to hear it. But you know, really, you can make the ocean sound with your hand over your ear. I don't know what that is for your acoustics to be like that, but yeah, it doesn't have to be a seashell. You can cup your hands over your ears and it'll do the same thing. But it's just cooler with these, right? These are so small. I am surprised that I'm not even crying or complaining about those. And then this, okay. So now let's go ahead and get out some more inks. I'm not how you feel about stamps with accent pieces in it. Like this has this. I love that. You know, they include that in there. It just gives you less error in some instances and more confidence to be able to create something. And you know, usually I don't have a picture right here. I don't know what I did with it, but I always look at inspiration from the pictures that I get in my craft things. And I don't say I want to emulate the exact thing, but I always try and do something similar to it. So we're going to stamp on and off the page and over. Because it's underwater. These things are all squiggly next to each other, right? But we won't do a lot. We will not do too many. I wish they had, I don't know if they do or not. And if a stamp company is out there and it may be one coming up. I wish they had like a school of fish stamp, like maybe 4 or 5 school fish together, so you don't have to actually make your own school of fish, and you could just do those like that. All right, so we're gonna do one more here. Yeah, I like that. And then I'm just gonna do a few random over here. Now I have two sizes, but this one's a little bit too long for the stamp block that I'm using, so I'm just going to do that. And I chose to stamp it up in the color that ink it up in the color that I wanted the grass to be. I remember when I had a fish tank, we used to buy these little like seed things that you can plant and it'll grow. It's supposed to help the fish, and some of them can feed on it, like eat on that, the little grass inside. But fish tanks are a lot of work. A lot of work, you know. You got to make sure you have the right temperature. If you have like fish that require that, it has to be the right temperature, right water. And I remember my mom was a big advocate for fish because her sign was Pisces, so maybe that's why she felt so connected to it. Maybe, I don't know. But she's like, yeah, we don't want them to get ick. I'm like, what the heck is ick? But you know, it's like um, fish poisoning, basically. So I'm gonna just wipe this off. Now, the one thing that I have many issues with photopolymer, but I find that I struggle to like really get them clean without like going all out to the sink and scrubbing them down. Okay, so I didn't realize we were this deep into it. I'm trying to make sure that I don't stamp this fish upside down, because you know what happens when the fish float upside down, right? So I'm just going to do like 3 right there, and then we're going to go ahead and glue down, and then I have to find a little sentiment to go on here, and then we'll glue everything down once we get all the fish how I want them. Okay. Now, I'm not the best at creating scenes. I've watched a lot of people take a blank canvas and do some amazing work with it. But I think the more you do it, especially for myself, the better you are. You know, that's my philosophy on a lot of stuff. The more you do it, the better you get. All these fish look dead, don't they? But they're not. Just so you know, this will be the dead fish. Oh, it looks the same almost, but that would be the dead fish. Just so you know, these are all alive and kicking a school of fish, just doing their own little swimming thing. And I think I'm gonna put one right at the top. All right, and then I'm just gonna plop 1 or 2 of these little fish. You know, it's always a fish off in the wrong spot, getting ready to get munched on by the predators in the water. So I'm just gonna put some fish food in here, I suppose. I don't know. They're always doing their own little random thing. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and glue this down first onto our card base. All right, let's talk about something really quickly and why tape is not my friend when it comes to something like this. Now, yes, it is just paper at the end of the conversation, but you can see, yeah, I had to, I went to tape this down, and the tape got happy and jumped on it first. And I was thinking when I was doing it, I was like, why don't you just pull a little bit back to make sure that you're good to go? Oh, no, 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 not me. She want to be fancy. And ended up having to cut off the entire card base and put it on a new card base. Then I went and cut the second card base and jacked that up. So this is the third card base. I mean, it happens. And it is just paper at the end of the day, but frustration can still get to you sometimes. So I'm just going to trim this up, glue this down, and come back. Okay, so here we are. Now, you can't really see it flat, but right here it's lifted up, so we're going to cover up that spot. But what I did is I took the liberty of cutting out a little anchor, because you know, usually some anchor that has gotten away from the ship at the bottom of the ocean, or at least that's what they do when they do excavations of the sea. They usually find all kinds of random stuff, and I feel like I want to put this little octopus here with these bottles like here and here, just like that. And I think we can put this here, and we're gonna I was gonna say something, but I won't. we're gonna just figure this out, and then I'm gonna glue it all down and come back and we'll put the sentiment on, and then we'll be done. We may not be able to use that. Let's see, let's swap this guy over. How about that? And then we can just put this down here. I think we're good except for like one more piece. All right, so I am sentimentalist. So we're gonna probably do something punny. This one says life is a beautiful thing, and just so you know why I'm sentimentalist. And this one says life is a journey, enjoy every minute, live life to the full. Dream big, wish you were here. And so life is a beautiful thing. I think I used that one before. Also, the other ones I really didn't care for either. But this one says you occupy my thoughts, which is an octopus, which would be good. And this one says it's time to celebrate. So none of them really have good sentiments in here. So I think we'll go with life is a beautiful thing, just on some, Okay, so I didn't find a sentiment I like, so I'm going to just use life is a journey, enjoy every minute, and put it right there, and be done with this Create Every Day in August card for today. And now I can say I created my first ever Slimline card. I can't remember if I said I got these from the Dollar Tree at the very beginning. And I'm not gonna stop and start over, it's just too late now. But I use this as my reference to make the cards, and so this is on. I have 39 more slimline cards to make. Not today, but in the future. We probably won't do a lot of slimline cards like the one we did today. Maybe we'll do some vertical ones as well, but I like the horizontal scene because it's just like a panorama, right? Anyway, I did this to the envelope, just something a little bit different. And then this is our outside, which I love this so much. I actually might keep this myself because I'm being selfish right now. And then on the inside, I just inked around the edges and put this right here. Whenever I do create things to go on projects, I try to put everything together just so it's complete. And it can stand up if you want to stand up because this is thick. So it fits in there nice and snug. It could be a little bit longer, but for my first one, let me know how you feel that I did in the comment section down below, and say thank you all for watching. And until next time, happy crafting.